I'm willing to bet my career on Michael Jordan.
Come on, man.
You asked me what I do here. This is what I do.
From the moment I read the script, we just loved this story, and you know, even though we all know the ending, it was really one of those scripts that I couldn't put down. It was a page turner, and it was great to get back and work with Ben again, and you know, and bring this story to the screen. I mean, it's his story, obviously, so but it's it's kind of in the spirit of those underdog, like Jerry Maguire and. Kind of that feel-good, what we used to call, you know, a good old-fashioned feel-good movie.
Sonny, you would call into the radio station. I remember you'd call in and we'd have you on. And Sonny Vaccaro is a legend. And for you to have this story made, did you ever imagine that this would be on the big screen, your story?
I never imagined anything would happen in my life the way it happened, but this is the most outrageous thing, if outrageous can be classified as great, okay, not bad. No, because I really had nothing to do with it until they asked me to have something to do with it, which made it much easier for me to talk to people like you, because in a lot of instances, what we've seen over the years, and I watched other people do, people tell their own story. It's very hard to be mean to yourself if you're telling your own story.
I can tell them the one thing the other companies can't compete with. Our basketball division is terrible.
But this is their story. This is, you know, Alex's version, Convoy, the writer, of what happened, and this is what Matt and Ben and the rest of the cast are doing. So, no, I never believed this would happen, but, you know, I've been around for 83 years, you know me for a minute or two, right? Yeah. How could it get any better than what I'm watching and what I'll, you know, I hope I'm around for a couple more, but my point is, this is going to last forever. This movie is going to be up there forever. It will, because of the circumstances.
When you're sitting there watching Matt go through the scene, whether it's George raveling in the bar or it's actually going to the Jordan's home, are you saying, no, you got to do this, or that's how I want it? Tell me about that side, because you had to get it right, Matt.
You can't get Michael Jordan.
I'm thinking of reaching out to the parents.
You talk directly to the family, you're gonna lose your job.
Do you typically show up at people's front doors unannounced?
I was told not to call.
Oh man, here we go.
Let me say this, the only thing, locations and situations didn't bother me, but everything that was done in whatever location it was, or whoever said the words, or whatever the background was true. I actually did spend time with Mrs. Jordan. Obviously, George and I were very close. He was the best man at my wedding a month before this movie was in thought. So those things, sometimes you're not sitting, you know, in the right place at the time. I rather would have been playing poker, I've been telling Matt, than shooting dice. But that's another story, but I went along with that.
Matt, what if people are going to take this film in, from all the buzz to walking into the theater, what are they going to walk away from? I mean, you see this in the art on the screen. What are they going to walk away from when they see this movie?
I just hope, you know, the screenings that we've had so far have been really positive. And what we were really trying to do is recapture the spirit, you know, as Sonny says, it wasn't about getting the exact word, you know, who said what, and, you know, 40 years later, it's the most consequential sports marketing deal in history, so I'm sure everybody's got a narrative of exactly how it went down. What we were trying to do was just capture the spirit of that time and those people who worked there, and they're all very generous about one another today when they talk about. They all, you know, it's not like, oh, I did this or I didn't, he wasn't. They're all very nostalgic, I would say, about, because this is a really important time, like a seminal moment in all of their lives. And in the lives of, like, American culture. I mean, it's a massive, massive historic thing that they did. But they did it in this really, they were this very kind of, Nike had rules, it had, you know, it had a very, you know, they were kind of outsiders and renegades a little bit. And so that's what we're trying to recapture and tell in the story, is that spirit.
Yeah, you really did it. I appreciate the time, guys. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Brad.
Thank you for having us. Appreciate it.
A shoe is just a shoe.
Until my son steps into it.
Air, rated R. Exclusively in theaters April 5th.